Welcome to our U.S. briefing program. Today, we have some important updates from around the world. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is urging the U.S. and its allies to stand firm against Russia, emphasizing NATO as Ukraine's best security guarantee. He expressed gratitude for American public support and hopes for stronger resilience against Russian aggression as he attends a security summit in Paris. In El Salvador, U.S. Homeland Security Chief Kristi Noem has delivered a tough message to migrants during her visit to a mega-prison. She warned against illegal immigration as the U.S. government continues its efforts to expedite deportations. Meanwhile, human rights groups are raising concerns about potential abuses and wrongful detentions, highlighting the delicate balance between security and human rights. Lastly, India is ramping up trade negotiations to offset the impact of potential tariffs imposed by President Trump. As U.S. officials visit India to finalize a bilateral trade agreement, there are hopes to expand trade and reduce barriers. However, caution is advised due to potential congressional scrutiny, which could complicate future negotiations. Please stay tuned for more detailed coverage. Deutsche Welle reports that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is calling on the United States and its allies to demonstrate the same resilience against Russia that Ukraine has shown throughout its conflict. While expressing gratitude for the bipartisan support Ukraine has received from the American public, Zelenskyy highlighted concerns that some U.S. officials, like Special Advisor Steve Witkoff, have echoed Russian narratives, which he believes undermines peace efforts. He emphasized that NATO remains Ukraine's best security guarantee and argued that the alliance would benefit from Ukraine's wartime experience, although he acknowledged that the U.S. is currently not ready to support Ukraine's membership. As Zelenskyy attends a security summit in Paris, he reiterated Ukraine's commitment to reaching a ceasefire, despite Russia's unwillingness to engage in genuine negotiations. South China Morning Post covers a visit by U.S. Homeland Security Chief Kristi Noem to a mega-prison in El Salvador, where she delivered a stern message to potential migrants, warning them against illegal entry into the United States. Standing before inmates at the Terrorism Confinement Center, Noem emphasized the consequences of unlawful immigration, stating that individuals would be prosecuted and removed from the U.S. The controversial deportation of Venezuelan migrants, accused of gang affiliations, has sparked outrage, particularly as many claim innocence. The visit, part of a broader regional tour, aims to bolster cooperation between the U.S. and El Salvador in combating transnational crime, but it has raised concerns among human rights advocates regarding the treatment of migrants and the implications of U.S. support for El Salvador's increasingly authoritarian regime under President Nayib Bukele. Nikkei Asia outlines India's proactive approach to mitigate the impact of U.S. President Donald Trump's impending tariffs by negotiating bilateral trade agreements with various countries. As U.S. officials visit India to finalize a framework for a mutually beneficial trade pact, India is simultaneously seeking to expand its trade relationships beyond the U.S. to strengthen its export base. The negotiations are expected to cover a range of sectors and could help buffer India from the repercussions of U.S. tariffs. However, experts caution that the deal may face obstacles, including congressional scrutiny and the absence of the Trade Promotion Authority, which could complicate the negotiation process. Despite these challenges, India's efforts to engage with other nations, including the European Union and the United Kingdom, reflect a strategic pivot aimed at diversifying its trade partnerships amidst a complex global trade landscape. South China Morning Post highlights a significant shift in the geopolitical landscape as the United States pivots its focus primarily towards countering China in the Indo-Pacific, effectively relegating Europe to a secondary role. This transition from a global power to a regional one raises critical questions for both Europe and Asia, as the risk of fragmentation looms over their strategic autonomy. In response to this evolving dynamic, European nations are enhancing their presence in Asia, while Asian allies like South Korea and Japan are strengthening security ties with Europe. The emergence of a potential alliance among liberal democracies in Europe and Asia could serve as a counterbalance against the growing influence of China and its allies, as they seek to navigate the complexities of a world marked by the rise of competing blocs. In another development reported by South China Morning Post, Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba expressed grave concerns over the impending 25% tariff on automobile imports imposed by the United States. This decision, part of President Trump's broader trade war strategy, threatens to significantly impact Japan's economy, which heavily relies on auto exports to the U.S. Ishiba's government is considering various countermeasures to protect national interests, as analysts predict that the tariffs could lead to a decline in Japan's GDP. The automotive industry, which constitutes a substantial portion of Japan's exports and economic growth, is bracing for a potential downturn, highlighting the delicate balance of international trade relationships and the repercussions of unilateral trade actions. Al Jazeera reports on the escalating violence in Gaza, where an Israeli airstrike has killed a Hamas spokesperson amid a renewed military assault. The attack is part of Israel's intensified bombing campaign, which has resulted in significant civilian casualties, including children, and has led to the deaths of numerous Hamas officials. Since the resumption of hostilities, the humanitarian situation in Gaza has worsened, with thousands displaced and a staggering number of casualties reported. The ongoing conflict, marked by failed ceasefire negotiations and threats from Israeli leadership, underscores the dire circumstances faced by Palestinians and the complexities of achieving lasting peace in the region. As the situation continues to unfold, the international community watches closely, grappling with the humanitarian implications of the violence. Nikkei Asia reports on the potential for a strengthened U.S.-Japan relationship through Alaskan energy resources, particularly liquefied natural gas, LNG. During a recent summit, President Trump highlighted Japan's plans to import significant amounts of clean American LNG, hinting at a collaborative venture focused on Alaskan oil and gas. Alaska's Cook Inlet has historically been pivotal to Japan's economic rise post-World War II, fostering a partnership that has benefited both nations. The proposed Alaska Gasline project, which would transport LNG from Alaska's North Slope to Japan, is poised to provide Japan with a reliable energy source while enhancing U.S. energy security. With Japan being a key ally, both nations stand to gain from this partnership, which aligns with shared values of trade, security, and prosperity in the Pacific. Al Jazeera covers President Trump's announcement of a 25% tariff on imported cars and car parts, escalating tensions in the ongoing trade war. Trump asserts that the tariffs aim to reclaim wealth lost to foreign nations, framing it as a necessary step to revive U.S. manufacturing. However, the move has drawn criticism from key trading partners, including the EU, Canada, and Japan, who express concerns over potential negative impacts on businesses and consumers. The tariffs threaten to disrupt the integrated North American auto industry, leading to higher car prices and fewer options for American consumers. Analysts predict significant market repercussions, with shares of Japanese and South Korean automakers dropping sharply following the announcement. As Trump prepares for additional tariffs, the uncertainty surrounding trade policies continues to loom large over the automotive sector and its stakeholders. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Turn on the screen, monsters screaming. Empty smiles, their words misleading. Power games in dark